Hi guys, may have seen my video a few weeks ago where I 3D printed my own Space Hulk kill zone so I can play Warhammer 40k kill teams, because I absolutely love this game now. So all these bits you can see that I printed, they were all by the lovely people over at Warlock 3D Models. There is some links in the description, guys, if you want to go and well, print out your own. And as you can see, yeah, the ones I made are magnetised, or put magnets in all the centre columns, just so that when everything's attached it all stays in place, which is pretty cool, because when you open the doors then nothing moves, and if you accidentally knock a wall or a piece, it'll stay in position. And if you did see the video that I recently did, you'll see that the walls were left at this stage, so they were basically primed in black and then a bit of dry brushing, as I wasn't too sure then just how I was going to paint them. So that leads us nicely to this video where, well, I am going to paint these, as well as turning some of these panels and doorways into sort of like some Nurgle alien looking walls. So yeah, I'm going to use some dipping inks. That's kind of the reason why I went with the dry brushing, because I knew I was going to do some sort of dipping ink over the top. And my favourite colour, well, it's orange. Plus I like the idea of using the orange because it's going to come out looking a bit more sort of rusty looking on this thing. And it's obviously, if this is meant to be some sort of, well, combination of spaceships that have been floating around for thousands of years, yeah, I think they are going to have seen better days. So I'm using the Radiant Orange dipping ink by Green Stuff World. Probably the main reason I'm using that one, I love the colour, say I love orange, but I'm using the Green Stuff World bottles because they're so much bigger. And obviously, value for money wise, these are awesome, as they cost about the same as your Army Painter and Contrast paints, but they're about 3 times the size. So yeah, so for doing sort of obviously scenery or terrain pieces, yeah, you wouldn't want to be using the normal little bottle, because I think I did go through about half a bottle on this terrain piece. But it was certainly worth it, as yeah, I love the end result, and as I say, I just love the fact that it does look a little bit sort of worn and beaten. I was going to really turn this into a complete rust bucket, but changed my mind last minute, just as I thought that might sort of look a bit too, well, too dirty, too grimy, too rusty. So yeah, with these, obviously the doors, I want to make them sort of stand out more. That's why I haven't painted them yet. I'm going to paint them a different colour. And as well as that, when you are playing this game, you are seeing it quite often from above. So yeah, so to make it easier for both me and my opponent, I'm doing some sort of like the old chevrons at the top, just so we can easily identify where doors are, because sometimes they do kind of blend in rather nicely with all the wall panels. And rather than just freehand this, I thought I'd be posh, and I went out, well, I didn't go out, I went on Amazon and I bought some masking tape. It's pretty cool. I've got about 3 or 4 rolls, all different thicknesses, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I'm going to have a go at, well, masking it off, even though I don't want it to look too neat afterwards. So I'm using a nice vibrant yellow, but rather than sort of like painting normally, I'm just sort of like dabbing it on. This way, obviously some areas it's going to be thicker, some areas it's going to be lighter. Just because obviously this is meant to be looking like it's weathered and beaten, but at least it'll have relatively fresh, crisp sort of lines in it. And then it's just a case of going around and obviously repeating that same process on all the doors. So I was doing all this terrain pieces as like a batch, obviously makes it a lot easier. So yeah, while I've got the yellow out, I'm going to go around and all my lights, I'm going to give it a little bit of a highlight in yellow. So I'm going to keep this fairly subdued looking, because I do want it to look fairly sort of old and wrecked. So yeah, while I'm doing that, I just want to say a big thank you and shout out to all my lovely patrons, as well as my sponsors, Easy Roll of Dice and Any Cubic, for helping support this channel and, well, keep it going, so I can keep on buying more and more materials to keep making more and more videos, because I love making things. And I promise I will do some battle reports soon, guys. So I'm basically playing once a week. We'd like to play more really, but yeah, once a week is really nice. But say, me and my mate, we're still getting the grips fully on all the rules, as every now and then something does sort of pop up, it stumps us, and yeah, we have to go and Google it or go on Reddit and find out the answers really. So yeah, so back to this. Yeah, obviously left it long enough to take all the bits off. As you can see, there's quite a few doors here, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it all came out really well. Like how it looks, and I say it's definitely a lot easier to spot where the doors are, from the fact that you can see above nice and clearly. But as obviously you can clearly see, I've also left the doors unpainted, as yeah, I wanted them to look completely different as well. So I'm just going to go with a red. Again, using the different inks, just because, again, value for money. There's definitely much more paint in these ones. So if painting terrain, yeah, I'd definitely recommend using these rather than your speed paint, army paint or contrast paints. Yeah, just go for a good old red, just because, well, why not? Makes the thing stand out. If you haven't seen the video where I do sort of 3D print all these parts out, as well as the board, sake of the board has an integrated dice, sort of, well, 2 dice compartments, as well as compartments for all the tokens. I will leave a link and a video link at the end of this video, guys, so you can go and check that out. And yeah, go and see how obviously it was all put together. And so you check out Warlock 3D models, as they do a variety of models, not just obviously these terrain pieces, but they do miniatures as well. So yeah, definitely go and check them out. So yeah, with this, I didn't really want to paint too much. As I say, I wanted it to look quite sort of grim, dark and distressed. So really, I just go over and do the wires, just to sort of like, well, just give a bit of colour to the thing, I guess. And because I want to keep it nice and simple and, well, not too distracting really. So yeah, printed out obviously some more panels. Obviously, as you can see, I haven't painted these ones at all. So these ones, I kind of want to make this spaceship look like it's, well, part normal and part taken over by some sort of alien, or Nurgle, or yeah, just so it looks like it is a variety, or at least a combination of at least 2 different types of spaceship that have been merged together. And yeah, the best way I found for doing this was good old hot glue gun. But with this, if you do it straight over the panel like I am here, when I first did it, I found it came off real easy. As in, you could just literally peel the whole thing off afterwards. So what I then did, went back, and the next time I put some glue over the panels first. So just because you put this glue on, it's great, it'll stick to it, but you can basically peel it off like a skin. So good old Gorilla Glue. I haven't used this for a while, but I used to use this lots in a lot of the terrain pieces that I'd make. It's one of these ones where you put it on, very sticky. It takes a good 20 minutes or so to sort of like fully cure, dry, harden, whatever you want to call it. But then once it has, it will stick anything to anything. So yeah, putting that over the whole piece and then doing the same again with the glue gun. So great thing with the glue gun is when it first heats up, obviously it comes out a little bit thicker, but then as it's sort of been on for quite a while, it then comes out really thin. So it's great because you can start off with some nice thick looking strands, and then yeah, afterwards you get some nice thin ones. So I didn't really bother with like trying to hide or mask the doors. As you can see, I went right over the whole thing, and then yeah, simply a case of going around and just cutting around the door just to try and release the bits. I prefer this method mainly because when you do shut the door, things do sort of look like they line up, and yeah, it does look like it's been well, covered by some sort of alien. But yeah, nice simple technique, but definitely seems to work. I have actually mentioned to the guy that did all the files over at Warlock 3D Models, just to ask if he would be doing some sort of Nurgle design or other sort of like look or effects on the walls. And he said there is a high possibility he might be doing that. So yeah, if he does, I will be 3D printing some more walls. But certainly for the moment, these ones are definitely usable, and yeah, they look great when they were painted. And so I actually used this game, well, last night. I played my first game with this everything painted and my sort of alien looking walls, and yeah, it went down well, looked good, and yeah, it did look like half the ship was alien, which is pretty awesome. Yeah guys, so let me know in the description if you've made your own sort of Killzone board, whether it's the Space Hulk one or just like a general sort of board, and what sort of fun and experiences you've had with that. I'm probably always going to be playing Space sort of Hulk in Kill Team board games, just because I love the idea of this all being on a spaceship. In fact, I've even changed, because I've started recently playing with the Void Dancers. That's my sort of go-to kill team. Although I have got about 9 different kill teams painted. Although I have now got 3 Void team painted. All different sort of varieties of looking ones. And the last ones were very much looking like aliens, which is pretty cool. And again, because I don't play any sort of like match games or proper games, it's purely me playing with a mate. We can be a bit more loosey-goosey with how our figures look. Obviously we try and give them the right kind of combo of weapons, but actual look is, yeah, however we want. Obviously the main thing is putting them on the right size bases, because that does make a big difference. So again, similar to how I did the other ones, keeping it nice and simple, prime in black, a bit of dry grey brushing, a bit of dry brushing with white, as you can see, and yeah, I think this really works rather well. I think, as we all know, this is kind of my go-to painting. Obviously, that being said, I am going to be trying out a whole variety of new painting techniques. Now, I have got a fondness for painting, as well as, well, I'm enjoying it, and yeah, I've always got the good old slap chop to sort of fall back on, as that would probably be my main sort of painting style when painting up kill teams, just because it is so super fast, and yeah, the results are awesome. Yeah, obviously masked off the edges of these. Could have painted them, they probably still would have fitted reasonably well, but it also helped keep away the glue from the edges. So yeah, simply a case of going around, trimming everything up, and getting these walls ready for their painting. And again, good old green stuff, well, dipping inks. Yeah, going to paint everything in this sort of burgundy colour, which is pretty cool. It's kind of obviously a bit of a bloody sort of look to it. And yeah, you're just using the big brush and just, yeah, slapping the stuff on basically. Just get it in all the nooks and crannies. Say some areas it is going to be thicker, and some areas it's certainly going to be less of it, and it'll just show that darkness coming through, which is pretty cool. As I do like keeping my painting sort of look nice and simple. Yeah, simpler the better. And yeah, so I can slot it in so obviously it can sort of stay upright while it's drying, because I really have covered this in a lot of paint. And then yeah, once all dried, yeah, liking the result, but just to sort of add a bit more sort of texture, shading, colour, whatever you want to call it, to it, highlights. Yeah, dry brushing with a nice vibrant yellow, as this just sort of again makes it look a bit more alive. It seems to sort of add a bit of a glisten to the top, and yeah, absolutely love how it looks, especially for something so simple, so easy, especially when there's loads of pieces to paint as well. So sometimes you could spend too long doing one piece, and then you're like, oh, now I've got to do all the rest. And yeah, similar to all the other ones, although especially more so in this case, and that is doing the chevrons on the top, just because these doors, they really do all blend into one. And there we go, my kill zone all complete. Say one half in this sort of alien looking texture, and one half in a normal sort of spaceship looking sort of thing. And yeah, I absolutely love my kill zone board. Say magnets in all these center columns, magnets in the floors, so everything stays in its place. And even obviously all the objective markers, they have magnets in as well. So yeah, they all stay in place. So if anything does get knocked, it's easy to put back where it came from. And yeah, love it. Yeah, guys, let me know in the description what you thought of the video and what you thought of my little kill zone board. Say I'm excited about it is an understatement. And yeah, absolutely love playing it, well, last night. Okay guys, yeah, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff. Let me know what you want to see me do next. So definitely painting wise, anything you want to see me try, let me know. Obviously got a new year coming up, and it's going to be a new me because I want to try lots of different painting stuff. Okay, that's it guys, you take care, happy new year to you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.